Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Green Room Podcast. I'm Matthew Brune, and joining me once again is Colin Mitchell. Colin, how are you doing on this Saturday night?
I'm good. It's Saturday.
What'd you do
First
today?
day home. My first day home since I
The
went to
Lions?
San Francisco. Yeah.
Yeah.
I took Bandit to the emergency vet this morning.
Okay.
He's good. He's good. He is good. He can't poop,
That's not good.
so we got to get him X-rays tomorrow.
That's not good.
What else did I do today? I had some Texas Roadhouse because we had a gift card. That family pack is crazy, by the way. You get a lot of food with that thing. And then
Colin tears through the family
No,
pack.
it was four people. It was four people. That'd be crazy though. What else did I do? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah.
All right. Good.
What about you? What'd you do today, Bernie?
I watched basketball. My AAU team, well, not my AAU team, but the team that I'm assistant coach for we had our first tryouts. Last year we went 19-6. Our ninth grade team. And I'm not sure we're gonna go 19-6 this year. But
All right, would you make your own team?
What do you mean? Would I make my own team?
Like if you were trying out as yourself right now, would you make your team? Or
like right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd make my own team for sure.
Would you be where would you be on the tier of players?
I'd be up there. Well, I coach ninth graders, so it's not really saying much.
That's what I mean though. Like there's some good ninth graders
No,
out
there
there.
are some really good ninth graders. We have some really good ninth
So
graders.
that's what I was asking. I was trying to get the
6', 6'1", athletic. They can play,
Yeah.
but no. Yeah, I'm making the team. Yes, I'm making the team. All right, let's talk basketball. Also, tease. We have a big football guest coming up next week.
Mm-hmm.
Big football guest. So we're gonna start cranking out some more football stuff. Starting this month. Try to get some guests on, and see where it goes from there. But yeah, stay tuned for that. But this is gonna be a basketball podcast, Colin. Just straight basketball, straight hoops. Because it's been a while. It's been the last time we did.
It was before I left.
That was after the FAU loss. Or was that after the SMU win? Damn, that's after the SMU win.
After the SMU win.
They've lost 3 straight games now. FAU by 3. John L. Davis hits a 3-pointer at the buzzer essentially to win the game after Bugs shoots an ill-advised 3 instead of holding for the last shot. Could have won that game. UAB, the most painful of them all. You have a 17-point lead at one point, or a 13-point lead,
crazy like that.
And UAB claws back. North Texas wears down, goes to overtime, and UAB wins 82-79. I thought UAB was the better team in the last quarter of the game, pretty much. So that one was painful. And then you get to tonight's game against USF, where I thought North Texas I thought everything went in North Texas favor to a degree, except for one thing, and that was obviously not having CJ Noland or Reuben Jones. And that's going to continue to be a point of this podcast, is assessing this team while injured. But if we just talk about the play on the court, we'll just talk about the USF game, I guess, because that was tonight's game. What were your thoughts? What were your takeaways? Jason Edwards has 38 points in a losing effort.
It was really 38. I stopped counting.
31.
Oh, okay. I was like, dang it. I was like, I didn't think he got
31.
that many.
Yeah.
Thoughts. Scored 55 points, and Jason Edwards has 31 of those points. I mean, that's kind of how these last 3 games have really gone. Yeah. John Bugs had a couple games where he got hot, 4-for-4 from 3 against FAU, or I guess 4 or 5 because he missed the last one.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, it was. I thought he went crazy against SMU.
He might have went crazy against SMU too. I think he also went crazy against FAU. I could be wrong. Regardless,
yeah,
that's kind of where this team's at right now. It's going to be Jason Edwards the whole time, every time, no matter what. And I mean, you only had 4 other guys score points. 1, 2, 3, 4. And like Aaron Scott only had 4 points, 1 of 9. You get Bugs if he makes a couple threes, that's good. He had 8 points. So, Mulai actually was 3 of 6, which I thought that he played pretty good today, compared to how he's played in the past. And then everyone else, kind of does their thing. Robert Allen will obviously get his with dump offs and whatever, but Matthew Stone's not going to score anything. Christian Moore's not going to do anything. I mean, that's kind of just where this team is. You don't have any guard play. You give Jason Edwards the ball and
Yeah.
you say do something with it,
Yeah.
and then everyone else kind of does their thing. Obviously they ran plays for Aaron, but he's been so inconsistent
We'll
this
talk
year.
about
Yeah,
we'll talk about Aaron in a second. I think you assessed it right. It's Jason Edwards gets the ball and the rest of the players kind of move out the way or set screens or go get a rebound. And
yeah,
that's how it has to be at this point. There is nobody that is coming to save them. They actually played Christian Moore 6 minutes and he took 2 shots and missed them both and had a turnover and 2 fouls. So 6 minutes, he was a negative. Matthew Stone, we know exactly what he is and what he does. 0 points in 14 minutes, 1 rebound. It just is what he is. And Rondell Walker is someone who I think has like the potential to like get to the rim more than what he does, either as a slasher or a cutter, but he doesn't like he's kind of just like a rebounder and defender, which is cool if this team was whole. Like
right.
all of these pieces make sense, which I guess we could start like unfolding into the big picture. All of these pieces make sense if the team is whole.
Yeah,
Rondell Walker makes a ton of sense. John Buggs is awesome. Sissoko and Allen, those as your 5 men make sense when you don't need them to score points. I will say the most disappointing part of this to your point that you brought up is Aaron Scott. And I give him a little bit of grace in this game because he pulled his what looked like
he
his
did
groin.
something. I didn't see they didn't really show the play. It just kind of
Yeah,
was.
it looked like his groin area. He got pulled in and he was like really in pain, but then he came back. So I'll give him a pass in this game for now, even though he had some good defensive plays. Like this guy is an elite defender, first team
Yeah,
all conference defender, bona fide. Like I think he could play in the NBA in a couple years as a defensive
yeah,
type player.
yeah. Defender only. Yeah,
Again, if this team was whole, that would be awesome, but they're not. So Aaron Scott scoring 4 points is not going to work. He scored 20 against UAB and then he scored 8 against FAU. And I thought the FAU game he could have been more, demonstrative at times when it was like clear that they needed him. 5 points against SMU. You go down the list, like Aaron has to become the Robin. He doesn't even have to be Batman. He just has to be Robin to what Jason Edwards is doing right now because I don't know the status of Ruben's injury, but we know it was a hamstring, obviously. But like, is it going to be another 1 week, another 2 weeks? I don't know. And CJ Nolan, obviously not playing here, is massive because CJ had been playing really well.
really well.
CJ turned the corner basically. Like we were on him, we were dogging him throughout
Yeah,
non-conference. Like, oh, come on, you got to do more. You can't just be out there.
yeah,
Well, he's handling the ball great. He's shooting the ball great. I don't want to say shooting the 3 great, but I think he's getting to his spot playing like Kai Huntsberry did.
yeah,
And then he doesn't play.
yeah.
So it's like I don't know what to really make of these results because they're not whole.
Here's the thing. This
And they
team
could have won all 3.
exactly. This team would be absolutely insane if it was healthy. I mean, we got a glimpse of it momentarily for almost a half when Ruben came back,
SMU. Yeah.
and we were like, "Whoa!" I mean, the offense completely changed. The dynamic of the offense. Jason was still getting his. Ruben was looking good. Obviously, Ruben is an all-conference defender himself. Like, the team is really, really good when healthy. They're not healthy, and we saw a glimpse of what happens if you lose one more player when Aaron left for that. Those two possessions. What was the lineup you sent me? It was I don't have it. I don't
The
have it in front of
lineup,
you.
I don't here. It's in text here. I could probably pull it up on our text.
Yeah.
Here I'll pull it up real quick. The lineup, man, we text a lot, Colin. Christian Moore, John Buggs, Matthew Stone, Rondell Walker, and Robert Allen. Now, obviously, Jason Edwards is played most of the game, but in that specific moment, I think he picked up his 3rd foul or something. But that's what we're talking about here: Moore, Stone, Buggs, Walker, Allen.
Yeah.
That was a lineup. That was a legitimate lineup for a couple of minutes in the game against USF, a team that was, what was it? They were 7-1 in conference going into this game.
Yeah.
And like, if I don't want to harp on the injuries, but like, that's literally what it is to me. In that if they're even somewhat healthy, I think they win one of these 3 at least.
I mean, you probably win 2 of the
I
3.
think they don't die down the stretch against UAB. Like,
Yeah,
I think they hold on against USF when USF clearly figured out just freaking put a big dude on Jason Edwards and help on him and try not to let him score,
Yeah.
then nobody else could do anything.
I
And
think I want
and Aaron pulled his groin.
I want to make a point about what you just said, is that if this team had their people back, they'd be able to close out these games, because I feel like a lot of people on Twitter are not a lot of people, but you see the discourse of people saying that this team can't close out games. They should have closed this game out. Blah 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 blah. Sure, they should have, but you also have guys playing 35 minutes, 31 minutes, 36 minutes, 37 minutes a game. Your four main players are playing that many minutes a game because you can't play anybody else, and they're gassed. They can't keep going for every play. They can't.
Especially with how well they're defending still. They're still second in the conference in defense.
Yeah, they're defending really well, and then they have to go try to make a bucket on the other end, and everyone knows who it's going to go to. So you got a gas Jason Edwards, who's at that, say you got 2 minutes left. He's already played 34 minutes, 36 minutes, and you want him to become hero. He was a hero the whole game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a product of what's on the floor. If you got everyone back, I mean, you don't have to play guys like that.
And let's talk about Jason Edwards real quick. Let's be positive for a minute, because this dude, I just want to read off his conference numbers. This through 8 games, which is that right? That's how many they've played so far? No, they played 9. So this is before today's game where he scored 31 points. He's playing 37.5 minutes per game, averaging 25 points, shooting 33% from 3, 53% from 2, and obviously scoring I said 21 points per game. Like after tonight, it's going to be 23 points per game, something like that. Dare we say, like, this is the best guard performance that we've seen under
Jason
North
Edwards is the best guard that UNT has had in the last 5 years.
You want to just go back to McCaslin, like 2015?
Yeah, I mean, go through all of them, every single one of them.
Ryan Woolridge, Javion Hamlet, Tyler Perry, Jason
I
Edwards.
love Javion Hamlet. Javion Hamlet was not as dynamic as Jason Edwards was. Jason hasn't won like Javion has.
Yeah.
Yet, but I don't remember Javion getting to the line, and you can look this up because I could be wrong on this. I don't remember Javion getting to the line 12 times while just being a volume scorer, hitting those middies, pulling up quick. Now, obviously, Javion is really great.
Yeah.
But as a player, Jason Edwards is the most dynamic, skilled guard North Texas has ever had.
That's undisputable. You can debate better. You can debate better forever. Tyler Perry, Javion Hamlet, Jason Edwards. You can debate better. Heck, you could throw Ryan Woolridge in that mix if you want to. Like, you could debate the best quote unquote player.
Yeah.
As far as dynamic player goes, Jason Edwards, the ability to score off the bounce, score at all 3 levels, like fade away in the mid range, like stop and pop, hit that, like catch and shoot threes that are like 0.5 seconds off the catch, like where he just catches and fires, deep threes. I mean, gets to the line, like you said. This is some of the most complete scoring I've ever seen. Like, again, no disrespect to Tyler Perry, but this is a different level from what Tyler was doing. And I again appreciate what Tyler Perry did and what he does, but what Tyler Perry did to Jelly Walker in the NIT championship, remember, where he hit that step back 3? Like, that was like, wow, that's amazing. Jason's doing that like every time down the court. And that's another reason why it's like, this is unsustainable. He's playing 38 minutes, having to score like that every time down, and then having to go play defense every time down.
And does it.
And
surprisingly.
It is some of the most incredible guard play I've seen in the country.
Yeah.
And I've tried to watch a lot of basketball. Like, this is elite level guard play from Jason Edwards right now. And he deserves tons of credit for how he's played. I wanted to make sure we dedicated a segment to how awesome he is. He's now up to Ken Palm does their AAC rankings for player of the year in the conference. First is John L. Davis right now. No problem with that. Second, David Jones, Memphis. No problem with that, even though Memphis has fallen off a bit. Third is Jason Edwards. He's literally been the 3rd best player in the conference.
So you got All-American.
Yeah, All-American. David Jones is going to be like drafted.
Yeah.
Probably. He's like an awesome scorer.
And then Jason Edwards. Yeah.
Like, that's how awesome he's been. So I want to take a moment and acknowledge greatness, what we are watching right now. Because yeah, man, that he's so fun, and he's the only reason they have a pulse right now.
Only reason.
Absolutely the
I
only
mean,
reason.
actually make stuff happen out of nothing.
Yeah, it's like
And it's
you know, what he reminds me of.
who's that?
just gonna throw a random name out there. I just was looking at stats. I was like, this looks a lot like Allen Iverson. Like where
Colin
it's like not
Iverson.
just like it's just like you know, he has like Allen Iverson on those 2000 teams like had like
Yeah.
you know, non-scorers around him. You know,
Yeah.
role players more
I see what
so.
you're saying in terms of
And
his role. Yeah.
exactly. And the usage is just probably just incredibly
It's
high.
about to be
So
crazy.
um here I'm curious. Let me look up Jason Edwards' usage percentage right now. Yeah, he's second in the conference in use in shooting percentage of shots taken, third in overall usage percentage. 28th in the country in the usage percentage
Yeah.
for the season. So, all right, back to I guess the negative side of things.
I see. I don't want to. I don't know if it's negative. Obviously, they lost, right?
Okay, so
I think I
what do you okay, is there anything negative from these 3 losses then to you?
you okay. You
Like anything they
what
could
you.
have done
This is
better?
what you were holding on to. You were holding on to winning the conference still, right? Like regular season. Boom. That died pretty much after you lost the first 2 of this 3-loss streak. I
Yeah.
mean, realistically, you're not.
Yeah.
It'd be way too hard.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm looking at the play of the players, and you might not be winning these games, but if you play this same exact way and you add Ruben for the conference tournament, you add CJ will be back sooner in the
Yeah,
conference
CJ will be
tournament,
back.
and you get guys some reps. This team's going to be dangerous, and I think that's all you should be playing for. I think when people watch this team, you should go, "Oh yeah, Jason Edwards is going to be electric in the tournament. Oh, Aaron Scott's defense is going to be crazy in the tournament. I want to see Mulai continue this. I want to see Robert Allen continue this. I want to see Bugs stay hot." Like I'm not looking for. I've accepted personally that this team's not going to win the regular season conference championship because there's too many teams. There's too many teams.
Yeah.
So to me, yeah, I'd like to win. I'd like to beat an FAU. I'd like to be higher in Ken Palm, but I don't think this team is a tier below any of the teams that they've lost to if they're healthy. I think they are on the level of being
Exactly.
the best or one of the best teams in the conference.
Exactly.
And that includes FAU. I mean, FAU almost lost to North Texas without Ruben.
Yeah.
So
this is very clear. Like we can say this, North Texas has been fortunate in the past 5-6 years in terms of injury luck. Let's call it luck. This year is the most unlucky year in terms of injuries, and it's also the most unlucky year in terms of results, right? Like, what are the odds for that Fordham game ends with the bobbled? What was it, the bobbled ball, and then the guy picks it up and puts it in the rim? Like there are plays throughout the year. John L. Davis hits that 3? Like, what are the odds? Like, there are plays throughout the year where you're like, damn, that's just unlucky. Like
So
St. John's, for instance. I think that game, you go back to it, there were plays they could like that just flipped. They are not only being unlucky in terms of injuries, but I think overall results. And so when you look at their record, when you look at their Ken Palm, when you look at just the results of the year, I agree with you. I don't think that does any justice to how good this team is when fully healthy. And like literally, you don't even have to give them like a week to fuel up. You just give them their full roster. I agree. I think they have a legitimate argument for being the best team in the conference.
And here's something too. You talk about luck. Ken Palm does a luck rating. Basically, it says this is where this team should be in the projected wins. North Texas is near the bottom at 355 out of 362 teams.
Yeah,
that's how close these games have been.
And yes, there is something to be said about losing close games. Like,
well, I mean, sure, like the
as a
early
team.
games, yeah, but that was when you didn't unlock Jason. That was when Aaron Scott was your number one go-to at the end of games, or Ruben Jones is your number one go-to at the end of games. And that there's clearly a guy now. there's clearly a guy now. And let's listen, like we said, you get Ruben back, you get everyone healthy, you get everyone on the same page. This team could be very, very dangerous in the conference tournament.
Yes. Now, an interesting point is the American has lived up to, in my opinion, like how good it is. The
Yeah.
top end, you could argue, is FAU is FAU. They've been inconsistent a bit. Memphis has fallen off a cliff, whatever. But overall, like in terms of like every single night, it's been this run of Charlotte, SMU, FAU, UAB, USF.
Yeah.
That is a 5-game run that you will not face, that North Texas never faced in Conference USA.
Yeah.
Like, that is brutal. So that's why when you get beat by a John Dell Davis double clutch 3-pointer, then you have to get back up and play UAB, who we already know UAB and Andy Kennedy has played them a billion times. And then you have to get up and play USF, who's 7-1 in conference. That's just where it's different playing in a conference like this. And that's why I think when you watch like the Big 12, and it's what teams can get up off the mat the fastest.
Yeah.
That is what happens when you play in these big boy conferences where the teams are on the same level. And again, unlucky in terms of result, in terms of like the little things, and then unlucky in terms of injuries. But you have to get up off the mat, and if you're not able to do that, you're just going to continue to pile up losses. But yeah, I agree with you. Full strength. This team is better than SMU. They're better than Memphis. I think UAB is a really good team. I think they're better than UAB full strength. Tulane, yes. Like FAU would be a great game. Charlotte would be a great game. I think Charlotte's given North Texas fits in the past couple of years. But
Yeah.
you give me a full strength North Texas team, I think Ross Hodge is just like, yo, give me a full team. Go take me to the tournament. See if we can win 4 in a row. Because I think they very well could.
I agree. I
And it's
completely agree.
proven they have.
And with the player, like we ran through the lineups, that lineup, that the death lineup, actual death lineup earlier. What Ross has done with the amount of players that has at his disposal is insane. I mean, this coaching job is insane. Yeah, you have Jason Edwards, but you got guys around him that aren't used to. Obviously, you got John Buggs and Aaron Scott and that, but you got guys come off the bench that aren't doing anything.
Yeah. I think the only negatives in terms of what I think, could have improved is I do think like late game execution could be better, right? Like John Buggs should have held the ball there.
Yeah.
Like, there are details to where they should have done things different in terms of the small things. And then the other thing is Aaron Scott needs to get healthy and needs to be more aggressive. And I think the big thing for him, not only for this year, but in terms of his basketball future, he has to be able to get to the rim and finish at the rim at a higher rate. We know he can shoot the ball now. Oh, that's awesome. We know he kind of likes that mid-range fade. That's cool. But at a certain point, you are 6'8" and you are more athletic than most of the players on the court. You need to get to the rim, either get fouled, or finish. And he's not doing that right now. So that's like, he's been to the line 42 times this year.
Dang.
42 times in 19 games.
That's crazy, actually. How many times has Jason been in the line?
99.
Yeah.
So it's, again, that's the next step for Aaron that I want to see moving forward. Anything else? Tulsa's on Wednesday. I think that on the road is a little concerning, but Tulsa has not been a good team in
You'll
conference
probably
so
have
far.
CJ back too.
Yeah, should have CJ. And then SMU is the big one. You still take a lot of pride in individual games, even though, like you said, the conference championship is not going to happen anymore. Things did not break right for this team. Cool.
Right.
It is what it is. Still, if you can sweep SMU,
yeah,
like at this point, it's about small victories until we get to the tournament.
Yeah,
Then
well,
it's like, all right,
it's all about honing what you can do. If Rondell Walker, like you said, can become more of a slasher, if Mulai can improve, like it's like you said, small wins.
If you can beat SMU on the road, sweet, that's a sweep. That would be a huge, huge, huge mark. If you can beat Memphis at home, I don't care if they're sliding down a cliff. I don't want to lose to Memphis now. It's become don't lose to Memphis more than beat them, but don't lose to Memphis.
And Ken Palm, what you said, they're 2 higher than North Texas right now?
Yeah, something like that, like 3 or 4 higher. Yeah, lows. And then like FAU comes to Denton in the second last game of the season. Can you like win that game? Get some momentum going into tournament play. Like those milestones, I think, do still matter for this team. And if you can end the year at like 12-6 or even like 11-7 in conference, that's still going to put you, what, 5th? Somewhere in that
Yeah.
range in the conference. We said going into the year, try to be top 3. Injuries happen. You fall down like 4th, 5th, 6th. It is what it is. But to your point, I think Ross Hodge has proven through 21 games he is the man for the job. He knows exactly what he's doing, and I also want to give him credit for building a roster that is even able to survive any of this. Like at full
Yeah.
strength, the 9-man rotation this team has is freaking really good.
Yeah.
They just
And
haven't had it.
yeah, I mean, it's actually brutal, these injuries. Having to play guys basically 40 minutes every game unless they get in foul trouble is crazy.
Yeah. So all right. That's all we had for y'all today. Hope y'all enjoyed the basketball podcast. Like I said, big guest on the football side coming up next week.
I think you said Friday.
Yeah, Friday morning.
So it'll be a later podcast in the week, like similar to this one, I guess.
Yeah, Friday morning is when we're recording that. So, yeah, stay tuned for that, and then I'll schedule out some more. Gotta send some texts and some DMs, see what we can get.
Cool.
What is that hoodie? Why do you have like a bunch of random freaking hoodies?
Montrose, Colorado, because I went to Montrose for a wedding.
Hoodie. What'd you buy in California? What'd you buy in San Francisco?
Oh, I bought a bunch of Alcatraz stuff, basically.
Oh, like magnets?
No, we got like a tin cup, like a prison cup.
Did you go inside? Did you do the tour inside?
Yeah. You think I just wanted to go see the
I didn't see any
island?
pictures or anything. I
You're
didn't.
on Facebook. You don't got a Facebook?
No, I literally can't access Facebook. I tried going to my account and it doesn't exist anymore. So
I'll get your pictures, Brittany.
I don't know why you wouldn't send pictures to me, or we have a chat with like a bunch of our friends. I didn't see them in there.
I'll send them all. I'm sorry. I'll send them all.
You think I don't care about your ventures?
I'm pretty sure I sent pictures of when I was going through Alcatraz.
I was probably busy. It doesn't count.
No, it's Alcatraz. Yeah, the Alcatraz was good though because I got like a good it was like I went to San Francisco for something else than watching the Lions lose.
Yeah,
which was brutal. Oh, I shaved my head again.
Yeah, because he dyed his hair blue. In case everybody missed it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they would have missed it
on air.
No, it was actually kind of annoying. I had to like bleach my hair first, let it sit for 30 minutes, then rinse it out. Because otherwise, if I put the blue color in my hair, it would have been green or like dark green, brown because my hairs. And then I put the blue in, and the blue had to sit on my head for 30 minutes. And you have to wash it out a specific way so it doesn't bleed on stuff, and then end up bleeding on everything anyways. So I just sleep with my hoodie up the whole time. And then I ruined my Final Four hoodie with blue coloring.
I was gonna say, so your hoodie's ruined.
Yeah, I'll still wear it.
It seemed like an awful idea.
Well, I had to because I was at the hotel, and it was like everywhere.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Thank y'all for joining us. We will talk to y'all later.